Inside the last 21 minutes of the Sportsmax zone for this Friday, we're back. We continue to talk football and head to Spain for the 2023-24 La Liga season, which kicked off earlier on Friday with a doubleheader. The opener saw host Almeria taking on Rayo Vallecano at the Powerhouse Stadium. The match ended 2-0 to Rayo Vallecano. The second match of Friday's doubleheader saw Valencia travelling to Seville to take on Sevilla. Let's head to those highlights now.
Baday's underneath this one. It will drop to Fernando, and now with En-Nesyri, cleared by Almeida, only as far as Navas. The ball back into the area, headed clear, comes out to Acuna, he strikes it! Into Lamela. Ball over the top for Lamela to chase. Across comes Paulista, but he gets the cross in! And, well, Cenk was alert to it, made the clearance. En-Nesyri was poised.
Well played now.
Forward to Almeida. Out to Fran Perez. Still they have it, Valencia. What kind of cross can Almeida produce? He finds Diakabi, and Diakabi's found the back of the net, and Valencia have the lead. And it's Mukhtar Diakabi, reborn as a holding midfielder, who scores Valencia's first goal of the season. Whistles all around the Sanchez Pizjuan, and Valencia get what they deserve. They're ahead. Well, he got 3 goals last season, Diakabi. They tend to be headers, maybe sending forward for the set pieces, but in this new role he's going to find himself in these positions. And as you say, it wasn't the prettiest, but it ended up in the back of the net. Oliver Torres away from Javi Guerra. Back to Suso. The cross comes in, and En-Nesyri, and he scored. And Sevilla are back on terms, or is the flag up on this near side? No, it isn't. So the goal stands.
The cross from Suso is unbelievable. In the perfect position for a striker, at the back of the centre-back, out of the reach of the goalkeeper. It's too far from the goalkeeper. Great cross.
Brilliant delivery, and unmarked.
It's a shoulder finish.
Baday's header back is short. Hugo Dura's brought down, is he? The referee has decided that that is his decision. It was a foul. It's a straight red card for Loic Baday. Sevilla will have to play the last 10 minutes with 10 men. Well, Hugo Duro, who's worked hard all night, just got away from Baday.
Well, let's see whose mistake is, because it's clear there's a red card. Let's see what happened there.
It's a back header from Rakitic, and then it's Baday's own header, which, well, arguably Bono would have got there first, but he has a split second to think about it. It's the slightest of touch, but Duro goes down, and Baday goes off.
I think he wanted to head.
Ball forward towards Javi Guerra. And they've won it high up the pitch here, and Hugo Duro rolls it across, and Jesus Vasquez and Valencia have scored. It's not Jesus Vasquez, but it is what will surely be, with just 2 minutes left and a man advantage, a Valencia winner.
Javi Guerra, fantastic finish, fantastic goal scorer, get it into the box, good quality in the finish, and he did fantastic, top corner.
Yes, Sevilla, traditionally a top team in Spain, but 12th last season, the first time in over 20 years that they didn't finish in the top 10 in La Liga, and they've not made a good start to this season, losing 2-1 to Valencia today. Liz Williams joining us now to look quickly at today's game and the weekend's game and La Liga's 23-24 season. Sevilla with a bad start, Liz.
Yeah, I expected them to really kick on from last season. Yes, they didn't finish in the top half of the table for the first time in such a long time, as you mentioned, but in terms of what they were able to do in the Europa League, they were really galvanized towards the end of the season. And I think towards anything past the 3rd place in La Liga, I think it's really there for the taking. And I expected them to start the season well and try and push on and challenge the likes of Sociedad and Betis for that 4th place, or even Villarreal even. But they didn't play too well today. The team looked a bit lethargic. And Valencia, they're a really young team coming into new management as well. They have had a few poor seasons, and they are historically, especially since this century, have been one of the better teams in La Liga. So maybe they're trying to really recapture their form of earlier in the century. So
they're also coming off a bad season last year. They were 16th, I think.
Yeah, they were really poor. They were in the relegation places or right above it for almost all of the season.
Yes.
But they've really refreshed the team this season, and a lot of new faces, a lot of young faces. So hopefully they'll be looking to really recapture some form and try and get back into those European places.
Yeah, and what about Sevilla? Tough luck for them today. Of course, they experienced a loss. But Liga last season, of course, they started rotten and then they picked up because they were able to finish in a top 4 spot. Do you expect them to, rectify the mistakes that they make today and finish again, top 4?
Well, that's difficult for them because I think that I don't think that they refresh the squad enough. They do have quality in the squad. We saw with El Nesiri there, who got on the score sheet. He'll always give them goals. Ocampos and Sousa are good players, but are they good enough to really overthrow the established names who have been challenging up and around that top 4 spot for seasons, past couple seasons in Sociedad, Real Betis, Villarreal? I'm not quite sure. They'll need to invest more in the squad, and we'll see if they do. There's still a month left in the window, really, so let's see if they can invest in the squad and get some better players, but right now I would say no.
All right, La Liga action will continue over the weekend with following fixtures. Let's have a quick look at them now. Of course, Barcelona are the reigning champions in La Liga, and they will be travelling to Getafe for their opening game. Getafe 15th in the season last year, and Barcelona setting themselves up for a good start. Real Sociedad will be at home to Girona, Las Palmas at home to Mallorca, Real Madrid travelling to Athletic Bilbao, Celta Vigo at home to Osasuna, Villarreal at home to Real Betis. I gave you Barcelona travelling to Getafe Cadiz, at home to Alaves, and Atletico Madrid taking on Granada, who are back in the top flight, Lige, after being relegated 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, and well, unfortunately for them, from what I'm seeing from the bookies and such, they're not looking too, nailed on to survive. They're actually one of the higher percentages to go down by all metrics. So hopefully they can hang on. It's always tough in La Liga for newly promoted teams because it's such a technical league, and there will always be a technical gap between the second division and the top division. So it's always going to be tough for them. But I do think that we have seen in previous seasons, Granada exactly is a example of that. A couple seasons ago, they came up and then immediately they went into the European places for most of the season a few years ago. So they'll be looking to replicate that. I'm not quite confident on it from what I've seen, especially in pre-season or read in pre-season from them. But yeah, La Liga is a tough league for newly promoted teams.
Yeah, La Liga has pretty much been a 3-horse race most years. Barca, Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid sharing the last 10 titles. Which of the 3 teams do you believe will make the best start? Based on the optics, it does appear that Real Madrid have the more difficult opening match of those 3 teams, as they'll take on Athletic Bilbao, who were a top 10 team last year.
And Bilbao always give those top teams a lot of problems, and Madrid, they've had a real mixed bag in pre-season. They haven't looked too convincing to me. They signed Jude Bellingham for such a huge fee. Their midfield is right up there with the best in the world, if it isn't the best midfield in the world. But they really haven't looked too impressive so far. Because of that Bellingham acquisition, they've tried to change around a lot of things in terms of their system, reverting more to a diamond in midfield. So I do think it will be difficult for them. There will be an adjustment period. We got news as well that Thibaut Courtois tore his ACL yesterday, so they'll be looking to replace him in goal. Lunin is a good stand-in, but they'll want some more quality in that goalkeeping department. Courtois was amongst, if not the best goalkeeper in the world for the past few years. So it's going to be difficult for Madrid, but they do have a lot of star quality all across the squad, some aging quality as well. And when you think about the likes of Barcelona, who were so impressive last season in La Liga, especially from a defensive standpoint, and they have a lot of young players who are continuing to get better. Or we say that they're losing Dembele, yes, but Rafinha with another year at Barcelona, Fati hopefully coming back from injury.
Pedri.
And I can't ever not speak about Pedri. I have a lot of stuff to say about Pedri, but I'll just leave it at I think that he's the best central midfielder in world football.
Gavi.
And he'll continue to do so. Gavi, of course, another great young player as well.
Yeah, so I think this season, Leger, we can look forward to a mouth-watering race. I don't think, for me personally, and you can of course disagree, I don't think it will be where one team runs away. I actually think this season will be a bit more tighter.
Yeah, I think he'll be much tighter than last season, actually. I think that Atletico Madrid, from what I've seen in pre-season from them, you can't read too much into preseason all of the time, but from what I've seen, they look much more calm in possession. They're trying to be better on the ball. Yes, they looks like they're going to lose João Felix, so they didn't have most of last season regardless. But Atletico, I think that they're making the right moves in the window. They have a lot of continuity as well with Diego Simeone, so they'll always be a really good defensive team. So I think that they're a better placed team to challenge this season than in previous seasons. And there's always the odd season that Atletico Madrid wins the title. They've done it the past 2 times the past maybe 15 years or so. So maybe they'll shock the world again. But although the favorites seemingly going into the season is Real Madrid, my money would be on Barcelona to repeat as champions for this season.
Okay, Liz, we'll hold you to that because what's your nickname again?
It depends what you want to call it. Frankie Paul, Prediction Guru, whichever one you want to.
Prediction Guru, that's
that's the one you want to go with. Yeah, Prediction Guru. Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Liz Williams, we go to break. We'll be back with a wrap of the zone after this.